also shared the news that I have a new favorite resource out there, a new favorite website out there, and it is fastidious.gg. I love a good tier list. So today I thought we would do something super fun. And if I disagree with enough, or if you guys disagree with enough in the comments, maybe we can bring Fastidious on in a future episode and debate him a little bit. But he has a super robust tier list out there, right? So I thought, I have not pre-looked at any of this in terms of who he ranks top and whatever, right? But I thought maybe I would learn a thing or two if I look at his top 5 epics in every class, you know, like mages, marksmen, healers, defenders, fighters. So I want to do that, but I want to guess before. I'll guess like the top 3 or whatever. I want to guess before we click and see if we're kind of in line, in sync on who the best heroes in the game are. And if you guys feel like anybody got snubbed on this list, let's go ahead and talk about it in the comments. And then again, I envision a nice debate follow-up video. I also envision maybe a rare or legendary follow-up video, right? Nothing like making content out of other people's content here on the channel, guys. Anyway, guys, you know the drill. Let's do this. So I'm going to select the rarity, but I'm actually afraid to press anything because I don't want to get spoilers. So I'm going to start with fighters, okay? My top epic fighters in the game, I'm not going to go in order, but I would say Wrath, right? My number 1 personally. Deimos, Vladov, I would say, the chaotic fighter. And then, well, I guess those are the 3 that I'm sure about. Let's see. He's got to have those 3, right? So epic fighters, he's got, you know what? Maybe I should turn myself around a little bit. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit. Okay, there we go. Wrath, Deimos, Vladov, right in order. But look who he has 4th. Aatrox, whatever the heck. I love me some Aatrox. That's a really, honestly, I hate to be chalk here to start it out, but those would be my top 4. I wouldn't have Estrid as my number 5 only because I haven't used Estrid. I have her, but I haven't built her. Man, but this is exactly why I wanted to do the video, because I'm like, oh dang, he has her as 5? So where does he have her as her best score? B+ Guild Boss, B+ Gear Raid 1, B Gear Raid 2, obviously NA Gear Raid 3, a D in Gear Raid 4. See, I'm looking for on my account personally, I'm looking for Gear Raid 4 help, maybe some Codex help, right? With all the bosses, frankly. So Conqueror, she's A+, excuse me. She's A tier for single target arena as well. I don't know. How do you guys feel about Estrid? Gluttony and Iron and Cyrene and Dalian, who I love. I had a video out about Dalian last week. So overall, pretty good. And I want to say I'm getting kind of deep diving here. I'll have this website linked for you guys as well in the show notes. You want to view along, you should bookmark it, obviously. Jenquar. Now, I didn't know Jenquar was that good. He's a B. I mean, granted, a B is a B, but Jenquar is a dude that maybe I should give a look to as well, right? So now we're going to move on to the mages. Okay, so now I got to remember who is a mage. Is Laurel a mage? Yes, she is a mage. I get sometimes the way they classify, you know what I'm saying? I think mages, I think Iona. So that's what we're going to start with. Iona. I love me some Iona. Next mage, who do you guys think? Other mages top AI. I love AI. I'm gonna go Iona. I'm gonna go AI. I'm gonna go Laurel as my top 3 mages. You know what? Greed instead of AI. Here we go. All right, Laurel, Mari. I love Mari though. Aeon. I mean, I'll talk about Aeon in a second. Greed, Pyros. I forgot about Pyros. Greed is there though. Pyros, AI. Iona is ranked below Greed. Okay, so here's a little disagreement here. I think I might be in the minority here, by the way. Laurel, yes, I agree. And honestly, Mari slipped my mind, but I agree that Mari's amazing. She's one of my favorite controls in the game. So those 2, no complaints. I would put actually Pyros, it's so tough because he's SSSSS guild boss, but he's a little bit meh in other areas. You know, Gear Raid 4, he's decently ranked as well. He's good against some code, so I guess he has some utility, but I put Iona, I mean, I'm such a massive fan of her, guys. I just think she's the best damage dealer. I put Iona over Greed, but I love Greed, but I put her over Greed. She has slow in her kit too. She has some control, right? So I would say hit or miss here in terms of where we align. Aeon, I know you guys love her. You guys talk about her in the comments all the time. She was one of my first epics I maxed out on my account. So I don't hate her. I'm not a hater of her at all. But I think I would probably have her as like A tier, like one little tiny notch below. Granted, for the Lord skill though, you know, like obviously you're going to be using her a lot if you don't have Morrigan, just for the Lord skill. So I can understand that. It's hard to parcel out how much because of the Lord ability, even if you're not using her, would affect your rankings. But overall, let's see if they have any. So Imani's pretty high. Raiden costs so much. What is he at 26? Do they have his cost here? 25 cost. I just couldn't get on board. I want to be clear though. I've not built Raiden, okay? So I'm not talking smack about him, but that 25 cost has always deterred me. What about you guys? What do you think? No, the Scarecrow, I like. Azoth, I like. Nisalt, I mean, we're getting into C and B categories here. Like, I like these guys, but I agree with the ranking at the same time. So the big difference is I would have Yona higher, and I would have probably Aeon a little bit lower, even though it's painful to say. I think generally speaking, we're pretty aligned there though. I guess now that I'm doing this, now that we're 2 classes in, I find myself a little bit more interested in who they have as like, you know, some sleepers that I may have not invested in. All right, marksman time. Well, Idril is clearly number 1. I think she's probably the best DPS epic in the game. Maul is gotta be number 2. So Idril and Maul. Lunaria is really good, and that Lord skill is broken. If you don't have a Racha, man, you don't even have to use her. Just put her on your teams. Gear 8-3 anywhere, you know, Arena for that matter. Those are my top 3. Lunaria, Maul, and Idril. Okay, let's see how close we are here. Idril, oh, boom! Chuck. Okay, so that was easy. Idril, and it actually aligns perfectly with what we said because the only S+ is Idril, and then he has Lunaria and Maul. Perfect, man. Perfect. So we're in lockstep agreement on these 3 being head and shoulders above the rest. Who does he have next? Brienne. Brienne's really solid against air, I feel like, you know? I do feel like, I just gotta be real. I know that everybody's gonna hate me for this, but I'm not here to just blow smoke up everybody's asses out there. I'm here to be real. She has tailed off for me. You know, I used her a lot more before. I guess this is what happens when you progress and you get legendary champions or whatever. I don't use her anymore on my account. Theowen I actually use a little bit more than Brienne because he's got such great control, right? It's a little bit more of a niche, I would say, skill set. So Theowen, I'm a big fan of, and I agree with the A ranking. I don't disagree with the A+ for Brienne, by the way. She's just not my personal favorite. And then it tails way off from there, you know? Vargas, I've always been interested about him. Defenders. Oh, this is going to be a good one. I will rank these in order. Why not? Number 1, Olog. Number 2, Baron. Number 3, Olog, Baron, and Epic Defender number 3. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody here. Come on, there's so many good epic defenders. Ash, what is your problem, bro? I'll give myself 3 more seconds. I feel the Jeopardy music in my head right now. Titus. All right, here we go. Oh, Isadel or whatever is Ozolde. Okay, so here's the behind the scenes pronunciation drama. I watched 2 channels to check the pronunciation before I did a guide on her, and both said it entirely different. Someone was like Izodel or something, and someone was like Isolde, or I'm like, okay. Anyway, totally forgot about her. Great call out there. I have her built, but I haven't used her a ton, right? She may have low base health and mid defense, but she makes up for it with a stellar kit, giving her more defense and every one additional block and shields, while also hosting a sizable damage reduction with her ultimate. On top of that, she's blocking. On top of this, the more she is blocking, the better she gets, with her A1 providing even more shields. A great tank and lord, especially if you use a northern defense. Okay, I buy all that. Olog and Baron are the other 2. Aveline, I actually really like her. I did a whole guide on her. She was one of these videos where I made a whoever I pull, I will build immediately type video, and she was the pull. Spoiler alert. And she was pretty dang good. She was good. Oh, Jorge or George, however you want to say his name. He's a new addition to the game. I have him. I haven't built him. A truly epic tank. First of all, he looks very UDK, very Death Knight-y kind of. I don't know. George brings a ton to the table, especially with awakenings, damage over time, damage reduction, extra blocks, damage mitigation. Combine that with the fact that he's only epic defender in both factions, everyone should be thrilled to get Jorge on their roster. Dude, I think I know my next max, man. I'm kind of excited about this one, guys. I like how you can see their base stats here, and you can kind of see their overall grade as well, right? That's really handy. Okay, so I guess I know my next max right there. They have Livian, they have Merrill, Titus. My man gets a C. You know, I think that's a really solid score for Titus. I would have assumed he would be the worst. Ardith and Draga, I think that he would be below that. But hey, I'm not going to argue that at all. Shout out to Fasty, giving my boy Titus a C. I never thought I'd see the day. All right, healer time. Well, we know it's going to be Dolores number 1, Hollow number 2, Vortex number 3. That is the easiest selection. If that's not that, then I'm done. I'm done with this game and never playing it again. There it is. Bum, bum, bum. Dolores, he gives triple S tier. The best epic in the game, obviously. Hollow, I don't know, man. I put her very dang close. You know, I don't think there's one hero in this game that I neglected how good she was longer than Hollow. You know, I got her early on. I'm like, okay, well, I have Elowen or whatever. I had like a couple legendaries who were really good at the time. And I'm like, I clearly don't need Hollow, this epic. Yeah, I did. And I do. She's so good. Rage regen plus the heal. She's just amazing. Vortex is Vortex. I'm surprised at this right here. I'm surprised that he has Nisandi over Maiden. I personally would flip-flop it. I'm really splitting hairs here because it's A+ versus A, right? And to be fair, he's grading them in every area of the game, and I'm simply gut call. Who would I rather have, you know? So, you know, I invested in both of them. I actually invested in Nisandi. I built Nisandi first for faction trial, and then I did Maidon second. I assume more people have Maidon than Nisandi, whatever. But Maidon, she impressed me a lot more. A really competent healer there. Lightluck, I'm not a huge fan of personally. And Lily, he has as last. I think Lily is competent, but not great. I think a C is a fair grade there. So there it is, guys. That's the best 5 epics in every single class in the game, according to fastidious.gg tier list. I'd recommend you guys show this website some love. Again, bookmark it, visit it, check back every day. They're constantly adding stuff to the website, and I'm really itching to do this again with legendaries. Hopefully you guys show some demand or some want for it in the comments below. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.